How about now? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me get a one in the chat right now. I'm all ISIS. Holy shit, I went on that crazy ass fucking rant. Goddamn thanking you guys, and I wasn't even heard. Oh shit. All right, you know what? We'll do it again because I love you guys. All right. Thank you guys and welcome to the show. We are gonna have a spectacular jam-packed night tonight, guys, because we're gonna be, first of all, our first conversation we're gonna be having. All right, we're gonna be talking to one of the founders. I think he's one of the founders. He'll explain it to himself because I wanted to call him the Godfather. So I know what they call him, but he's one of the guys who's, I would say, he's very entrenched in the whole white pill space, and he's gonna help us understand what this ideology is. Because guys, I don't know if you understand this. All right, you got these pills, these blue pill, purple pill, black pill, white pill, all this stuff out here, and they're just out here with all these different ideas. So we have to know what in the hell these ideas are. Are they going to be able to stand out, and are they going to be able to help young men out there achieve what it is that they need to achieve? Because right now there's a whole lot of fucking pills out here that are either telling guys to go ahead and pump and dump girls, call them 304s and do all this stuff, these toxic ideas, or straight up telling guys to just give up on women and don't even deal with them, right? Because all they care about is the looks and your money and your height and all that stuff. So guys, these are the toxic kind of ideologies that are being pumped out right now in the manosphere space. And as part of our goal to make sure that we suss out the ones that are really going to help guys and the ones that are actually going to hurt guys and not give you guys little to no results, we have to make sure it stands up to par. So with that being said, that's going to be one of the episodes we're going to be having today, having conversation with Coach Whitepill himself. And guys, make sure you also stick around because we're going to have another live stream and we're going to be talking about interracial dating. All right, that's going to be coming right after this one. All right, with that being said, we're going to welcome Coach Whitepill to the building. What's going on, my man?
How's it going, man?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you coming on, actually. Real talk. Like, you're like everywhere but nowhere at the same time. So it's like, holy shit. Right? We're hearing about the white pill. Everyone's talking about Coach Whitepill. Like, who is this guy? We want to know what this stuff's all about. So thank you so much for coming on. But before we get started, hey, guys, how is the audio between Coach Whitepill and I? Is it pretty balanced? Do I got to turn my audio down? Let me know.
Testing. I can turn mine up. You can turn it down.
Y'all definitely fried me in the comment section. So
I want to make sure. Yeah, my camera wasn't working, and I was freaking out. I fixed it. So
I'm glad you did. Let me get audio good, both sides.
All right, sweet.
Perfect. All right, Coach Whitepill. All right. So, I mean, what's the white pill? Go ahead and get into it, man.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. We have this Rollo actually just made a stream on us, and he keeps saying it's all these different things, which it's not. So I want to correct the record here. So just to start off, Kevin Wilder and I, we like to call ourselves pioneers of the white pill because we feel like we discovered it. It's something that's always been there or should have been there. And we don't want it to be about us. Like, we want everyone to embrace it. That it's a concept. It's a belief system of how you should live your life. And yeah, we just want everyone to grab hold of it. So we pioneered it. We kind of brought it into the consciousness as a response to the black pill. So for the guys who don't know what each pill is, I mean, a lot of you guys know what the red pill is and the blue pill, but let me just go over all of them so anybody who's watching that doesn't know can really understand where it came from. So despite popular belief, the red pill did not come from Rollo. It came from the movie The Matrix. Actually, even before The Matrix, I think was based on Alice in Wonderland, taking the pill, going down the rabbit hole. But it was popularized in The Matrix, and Morpheus offers Neo a choice, the red pill or the blue pill. And what he's offering him is he's offering the truth, nothing more is what he tells him. So when he takes the red pill, he finds out what's really going on. And it's this world that is not the real world. And that's what, the Rollo and the community is taken into being what is true about female nature in the dating world versus what is fake. And I think one of the big problems, which I'll get to, is that they tell you what to do. And the red pill is not, in the movie at least, it's not what to do. It's what is going on. And then everyone has to discuss, what should we do about this, right? So the red pill is simply what is the truth. And we're still figuring that out. We're still debating that. We don't know there's not the science, which they always cite studies is very flawed science, which I like to go over. There's a lot of problems with it. So the truth is still being figured out. A lot of the stuff we agree on. Some things different creators disagree on about female nature and what women are all about. And it's changing with culture. So it's about figuring out what that is. The blue pill in the movie is that delusion. It's the fakeness. And the dating realm, I just call it the Disney movie. The Disney movie is the blue pill of what people think, you know, dating is about. It's like bringing a woman flowers and kissing her butt and up to her and doing all these things to try and supplicate to her. That's the blue pill. Whatever you see in a Disney movie that you know you've tried and it doesn't work, that's the blue pill. Now,
what these guys would call simps. It's what these guys would call
the
simps,
simp
right?
pill.
Yeah.
The blue pill is the simp pill,
pill.
right? But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's before simping online. It was like you are interacting with a woman and how you behave one-on-one. But that's the red pill and the blue pill. So where does the white pill come in? Well, before the white pill, there was actually the black pill, if you have heard of that. Now, the black pill focused on looks primarily, and most said game didn't work, but some said go to the gym. Some said you're screwed no matter what. Genetic determinism, whatever you're born with is you're stuck with. And in the movie itself, when they take the pills, they take the red pill. Neo took the red pill, and so did Cypher. So how can they be the same thing? They're not. One of them took a dark path, and that's Cypher. He went down, and he sits in front of the computer all day, these streams. He's an incel. He can't get Trinity, so he goes on a shooting rampage and kills a bunch of them, trying to get it back into the Matrix.
Yep.
They pretty much predicted the incel movement, and they predicted incels going crazy and killing people. It's kind of insane. Yeah. So this idea, you just take the red pill and you're good, man, is totally false. And what was different about Neo? He had a mentor. He had a coach. He had Morpheus guiding him and showing him the path of the light, the white pill path, the right way to do things. And so the white pill is really the belief that you can change your life. It's hope through action. So it's not hope alone. It's not sit on your ass. It's not the book, The Secret. It's hope through action, that if you take action, you can find a way to succeed in your dating life or in any part of your life that you want to apply this. And you could be like, game doesn't work. So you're black pilled against game. You're like, game doesn't work, but going to the gym works. I get fit and I'll get some ladies. So you're white pilled towards going to the gym. And white pill is like, get off your ass and do the work. And all you have to do is believe that it's going to work or you won't do it. So you need the white pill. This idea that it's like, we don't need it, self-improvement, is wrong. They're like, why do we need a new pill? We have so many pills. We have plenty of pills.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one of the main questions that people ask. It's like all these different pills everyone's popping nowadays. Like, why? Yeah. Why do we need any more? Like, why can't we just have a unified message where we can just say, hey, men, go out and build. This is what you actually are. This is what you're supposed to do, your natural element versus. And then also, telling the women, like, you say, hey, this is the understanding how female nature work in a way that they can absorb and understand that knowledge. And I feel that's something that's lost with a lot of these pills nowadays. But go ahead.
So when you need 4 pills and you don't take all of them, that's the whole point. It's a choice between 2, right? So why do you need all of them? It's like asking, why do you need positive when you have negative? Right. Like, why do you need a polarity? Why does a magnet have 2 sides? It's like, to me, it's super obvious. If you have one, you have to have the other, or you're just ignoring its existence. The white pill has always existed, but you haven't talked about it. So someone asked me, like, we know what self-improvement is. Why do we need a name for it? Well, why do we need a name for the truth? Why do we just call it the truth? Why do we call it the red pill? Because it's easy to identify with. You can tag it in your stream and people know what they're watching. If you just put truth, maybe it's truth about politics. Maybe it's like, what does that mean? Yeah, truth can be anything. So red pill truth is like identifying female nature, and what we agree on, it's a way to label it. Why do we use labels? Because we're tribal a little bit, and we figure out where our community is to talk to. How do I know who to talk to? Truth group? Oh no, red pill group. I get their mindset. I understand what they're going to be talking about. Click. Yeah. That's how I identify. And then with, red pill, blue pill, you have these communities that all believe different things. Some believe game works. Some believe it doesn't. You need to identify who believes in what, right? And then, so you don't just call it truth, you call it red pill. And then someone asks, why don't you call it self-improvement? We talk about self-improvement. Why do you need the term white pill? Because white pill is not self-improvement. White pill is the belief that self-improvement works. So it's before you go to the gym. Self-improvement is go to the gym. But why would I go to the gym if I don't think it's going to work? I need to take the white pill saying, if I take this white pill, I believe it's going to work. All my efforts are going to give me a result that's getting to, you know, success with women. And
so
guys,
are you saying,
well,
are you,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it the mentality before the action? Like, because red pill is all about taking action, and then white pill is basically like, yo, you got to get your mind frame right to believe that you can be able to do something by taking action. Okay.
So, well, I wouldn't say red pill is about taking action because that's the community. The concept is just you're getting the truth. You can't have like, here, let me tell you the truth, and it's a description. I'm going to describe the world, and then I'm going to give you a solution. As a doctor, I'm going to give you a prescription. Here's what to do. You can't have one thing describe both. Because if you do, you and I might no longer agree with each other. We can't call it the red pill. I can't call it red pill, and you call it red pill if we disagree. If I say do game, you say do gym, people get confused. But if we agree on female nature, then we can call it the same thing. So you can't mix the two. You're talking about a community that black pill, some believe in games, most don't. So it's confusing. The black pill is giving up. It's what incels are. It's over, bro. That's the black pill mindset. Most of the community, and there was a guy, a friend of mine, he called it black pill 2.0 because he was focusing on gym maxing. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because a lot of the black pill is giving up. It's confusing to guys. It's over, bro. So you're associating with it's over, bro. So I'm like, call it something else. And he changed the name to Max Theory, change it to something positive. Black pill just sounds so dark. That's funerals. That's why would you call it something so dark?
I feel like about to pop a pill of cyanide or some shit.
Yeah, they always say black pill says it's not nihilism. They say it's not pessimism. Then why is it black? Why is it black?
Can you go into that too as well, to the black pill? Because I think that's something that it's a community that's, I won't say it's out and about, but it seems more like, I won't say hidden, but underground in a way where like once you get into it, you're like, holy shit, what are you guys talking about? Like none of this makes any sense. So if you like dive in, because a lot of our audience, they're not as balls deep into these pills. So what is the black pill, and why is it important that people should kind of avoid thinking pretty much like these guys? Go ahead.
I'm going to explain because there's communities that all think differently. That's why it's so confusing to people. So there's a guy who says black pill hates dating coaches. He's selling you bullshit. So he doesn't believe game works. So that's nihilism. That's giving up, right? I'm confused. Isn't white pill a different version of the red pill? No, it's not. And that's why we have to define it, because when you talk about red pill community, black pill community, white pill community, you have different creators that all believe different things. And that's why everyone's so damn confused. I want to clarify, it's very simple. It's a mindset. Every pill is just a way of thinking. And the red pill is thinking about what's the truth. It's not go to the gym. It's what are women want out of men? How do women behave? How should men behave?
Yeah.
How do they behave? How do they operate? What am I looking at? You're just looking at it. Blue pill is the Disney world of confusion of what people are thinking. White pill is what do you do about it? Do you learn game? Do you go to the gym? What to do about the action, right? Red pill is not the action. That's a creator saying, I'm red pilled, here's some action. That's just from the creator. That doesn't make sense because you and I might recommend different things, right? And so the only thing we agree on fundamentally 100% is the red pill, right? And so it's only 4, guys. It's not that complicated, okay? But when you talk about black pill, when I talk about the community, you have different creators. So you have MGTOW Dictionary. He's kind of out now. But he was saying dating coaches suck. They don't mean anything. Don't listen to them. Game is manipulation. It doesn't work. I don't know if they believe in the gym or not. Go to escorts, things like that. And so, you know, I was on with Donovan Sharpe, and he was like, the black pill community always comes after red pill dating coaches. I'm like, no, they don't. There's Wheat Waffles, who is strictly about the data and the science. He never talks about red pill community dating coaches
meat waffles?
ever. Wheat Waffles. Wheat Waffles.
Oh,
Kevin just debated him. He's great. He's a young kid in university. He's in UK. And yeah, you should talk to him. He's very popular now. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's not a doomer. He believes in gym maxing. But he's going through the hard data of like how hard Tinder is these days and how hard it is and what the bullshit is. And so he's very good at it and he's very reasonable and he'll talk to anyone. So that's the problem is like you hear black pill and guys think, oh, they all hate on the red pill. But then you get guys like Wheat Waffles that doesn't even talk about the community. He talks about the concept of the red pill. He talks about for a second. I gotta switch back. I don't know why it switched me off.
Yeah, there's like feed? A little. Yeah, you're looking pretty good. I mean, it's a little grainy, but
okay,
you're good.
I'm good. You're good. Okay, as long as I'm good, I can always switch over. It kicked me off the feed. But yeah, so it's like you gotta stop defining it as community because you have too many people believing different things. When I want to link in my video, White Pill video, I want to understand that means you can succeed if you do some action. I want people to identify with that. I want other creators to use that signifier. When they tag Red Pill, I want to stop saying all these different things, and I want us to come to an agreement of what are females all about? What's the truth about it? And then, because otherwise you have Rollo making a stream saying White Pill is the purple pill, which means he's just upset that we're right.
Yeah.
And he called me a dipshit on the last one, so he's just mad that we are coming up. Yeah.
Come on, Senor Rollo Tomassi. Come on, you can't do that.
He's just mad.
Look. Would you debate this guy?
Of course.
I want to get into his we'll talk about him later on, but I want to get your thoughts on his ideologies and his standpoint because people are considering him the godfather of the red pill, and I personally don't agree with that, but I want to have that conversation because personally I think
sure.
Y'all already know what I think about Rollo too. Go ahead.
He's got some fanboys. Well, I'm sure we'll get some in the comments. First, I want to say Kevin Ray Wilder, he's great with our content. He's my business partner. And honestly, most of my time I need to focus on my coaching program because unlike a lot of YouTubers, I'm not sure if you do coaching, but a lot of these guys are coaches, but they spend all their time on YouTube. Yeah. I have time for interviews and that's it. So if Rollo wants to debate me, I will, but he needs to debate Kevin first because Kevin challenged him on hypergamy, specific topic 1 month ago, and he's still dodging Kevin. Yeah. Won't even say his damn name. He won't say his name because he's afraid of him.
He lost to Lawrence Southern, dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't debate anyone after that.
I'll get into Rollo in a sec, but first I want to say, Rollo, I'm happy to debate you, but not until you stop dodging Kevin. You got to debate Kevin first because he challenged you. He challenged you a month ago. It's not fair to him for you to debate me first. So he challenged you a month ago. Debate him, and then after, I'm happy to debate you.
Don't run. Don't run like a little boy fresh. Don't do it. Come on now.
So I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be as nice as I can. He said he forgot my name. He called me Coach Whitepill. I don't know his real name. I'm gonna call him. So he got about that. But whatever. Anyways, so Rollo,
hold on, your audio is like going in and out.
Let me
hang on 1 second.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me try and switch over my data because it kicked me off. Just guys, give me 1 second. I don't know why it kicked me off this thing. It'll I mean, you're
coming in clear right now. Hey, yo, guys, hit that like button, by the way. Let's hit the like button. Let's go. Let's get this going. We're going to talk about, guys, we're having a conversation about the white pill right now. So get them likes up. Come on, let's do it.
I'm back.
Yep, you're good. You're good. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So Rollo's they call him the Godfather, so he calls himself that. He says he's not, whatever. But he didn't come up with the red pill. The Matrix came up with the red pill. So let's set that record straight. Actually, Alice in Wonderland, I believe, but Matrix popularized the red pill. So let's cut this nonsense that any of us came up with the red pill. He brought it into the dating realm, but I think, he always cites Roosh, Royce, who is Hartis. It's like the three of them pioneered it kind of in this dating space, which give him credit for. He popularized it through the book, The Rational Male. He gets so butthurt and angry when someone critiques him. I made a review with Kevin months ago for The Rational Male, which we told everyone to read the book. We recommended it.
I have all 3 copies.
They said we haven't read it. I've read the first 2 books cover to cover, which is a total lie. And we critiqued the iron rules, which are prescriptions, which he says he doesn't tell guys what to do. That's what he says in the book, guys what to do. Up to that point, it's just the truth. It's just the red pill. I don't agree with all of it, but it's a worthy book. I think it's dangerous by itself. I don't like his streams where it's all bitterness. I think it's culminated the black pill, and then a lot of these red pill guys are actually black pilled. They are doomers.
Yes, I want to get into that too, because that's part of the reason why I think this man is so dangerous. And a lot of people think, oh, dude, you just hate Rollo, Tomassi, and Fresh and Fit, and all these guys and Donovan. I don't hate them, bro. You guys don't understand how much energy it takes to really hate somebody, to really have them in your mind. I mean, I literally come online, I get on video and clown these guys for fun, and you guys watch it, and you guys enjoy it. I don't hate them. What I talk about is the ideas. I clown the ideas, and I pointed out saying, hey guys, look at the inconsistencies here, right? They're telling you one thing and their lifestyle is different. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to him. I have all 3 copies of his book. I read all of them, so it's not like no one it's crazy. But go ahead.
So he got so mad that we critiqued his iron rules when for 45 minutes we were praising the book and telling guys to read it. I still say, guys, read it, but I don't think you should read it by itself. I now firmly believe that by itself, it's very dangerous. You need to read that, and then you need a white pill creator. It doesn't have to be me. Any white, you could go to Duke and or Mr. Lucario and get some real game advice, get some real gym advice from Coach Kevin. Like, learn this stuff, and like, don't get doomeristic and give up on your dating life and become bitter towards women. A lot of them are bitter towards women. Right, so, and they're pushing that narrative.
Go into it. Why? Because I've always had this hunch too about a bunch of these red pill guys actually secretly being like black pill dudes. Right? Can you go into that a little bit? Like why you think that is?
So by the way, I think we have some fake accounts in the chat. We're not doers. Chasing. They're the little minions. But anyways, so why are they really black pilled? That's why I like to define concepts, because black pilled. We need a word for bitter towards women and revengeful and hating on women all the time, and not really talking about self-improvement, which they rarely do, a lot of them. They've started to, some of them, because I've called them out for it. They've changed their behavior. If you know this, I have a lot more power. I'm the smallest YouTuber with power because I say one thing and they change their behavior. They're actually, some of the creators are starting to have more self-improvement content. I've noticed that because I've pushed for it. And Kevin Ray Wilder's pushed them to do more positive content. We're trying to influence the content to be more positive, not towards women necessarily. Yes, you can give raw truths. I think there's some objectification that needs to stop towards women. But again, most of it needs to be positive to help men, build the man up, right? And so when you're black-pilled is really about talking about women 90% of the time as the problem. When you're playing victim, when you're saying it's over, bro, when you're saying give up, that's black-pilled. Victimhood, male victimhood. You're male feminist, complaining about women all the time. You can complain a little bit, nothing wrong with that. You can talk about female nature, but when 90% of your content is women are this, women are that, if you could even do an analysis, right? How many times does a creator say the word woman and women versus guy, man, dude? If you count the number of times that they say woman, girl, whatever, versus man, dude, and it's 90-10 or 80-20, and like in favor of saying woman, like all this problems, bitch, slut, whatever, the bad words too, that's a problem. That means you are very little talking about self-improvement like you claim. You're not talking about building the man up. You're talking about the man being pushed down by the matriarchy, right? What do the feminists say? The patriarchy. Patriarchy. What does Rollo say? Feminine imperative, gynocentric social order. You might as well say we're being put down by the matriarchy. You're whining and complaining. Are the laws against you? Sure, but what did Lauren say? Go change them. You want to change it? Change them. You live in a patriarchy.
That's facts. That's facts.
She nailed it.
Like I always say this all the time. Welcome to the fucking patriarchy. Like this is what it is. Like no matter what, guys, we have like there's no, you know how women can go ahead and have this women march or a day without women or whatever the fuck. We literally can't do that. We can't afford to do that shit, right? So that goes to show you how much fucking power men have. But the problem is, a lot of you guys go out there, maybe you guys go out there and try, right? And then you fail. Or maybe you guys go out there, you deal with somebody else's, or you listen to somebody else's experience, or listen to some of these books, and you decide, okay, it's all hopeless. I'm not even gonna fucking try, right? And you cultivate this weird worldview about how reality is, that it's just not what it is. The problem is, what you have to do is if you want to get to where you want to be, you got to keep trying. You got to keep failing. The people who work good with women, they're not people who all of a sudden came out their mama's box and said, oh, hey, let me talk to all these. No, it's not how it is. They had to work through it and they pushed through the rejection. That's how it is with anything. If you want to bodybuild, you can't just go to the gym one time and then go in the mirror the next day and don't see any gains. You have to do it repeatedly for months to be able to get good at it and see results. So that's the thing. You got to keep trying, guys. You got to keep trying. Don't stop.
And they're full of it when they say they've tried. That's the other thing. They're like, I've tried everything. Well, no, if you jazzercise for 5 minutes at the gym, that's not going to the gym lifting weights. Get a coach. Like, stop half-assing it. Get Kevin Ray Wilder, professional personal trainer, was a bodybuilder. You want to get ripped in the gym, go to Kevin. Like, stop going to the gym by yourself for 5 minutes and then complaining it didn't work. Guys have read we have a book, Dating is Easy, that'll, the concept is that it's easy if you get help. Like, it's easy if you get the right tools. It's not easy by yourself, but if one guy like copied and pasted and said it was like all PUA tactics, first off, it's not. But even if it was, how many of you guys have tried it? I was a pickup artist. I was one. You guys have never actually tried it. I'm sorry, you just haven't, because it freaking works. I've used it. Now, is it manipulative if you just copy and paste it? Sure. Do you want to do that, like buy the book and like, nah, not necessarily, but get someone who's versed in it who can teach you a little bit more normal way of doing it, so you're not doing weird lines and stuff. You're cutting out the BS.
Them pickup lines don't work no more, man.
No, but also, they also think pickup artists are not pickup lines. By the way, guys, you always think words. Guys think lines, and they say lines don't work. No, lines don't work. Lines are like the 2% of pickup artists. I could take 0 lines and be a pickup artist. That's the misconception. I almost never use lines. Almost ever. I had a couple go-tos to just like get the ball rolling when I walked up to a girl. I might have a opener line, but like beyond that, you guys just don't know what pickup artistry is. Like, it's not lines, guys. It's just not.
Tell them how much work it's involved in terms of actually being able to build up those conversational skills. Because that's what I think a lot of it is. And even some of these dating coaches out here that sell, I'm talking about these fake alphas, right? That sell some of these courses, right? And almost the way they pitch it is like they can give you a step-by-step playbook on how to, do this with a woman. It's like, people aren't fucking stencils, bro. Reality is different and people are variable. So you might go up and try to say the same thing that you learned in this fucking course, but guess what? It might not apply to the certain situation you're saying, and the girl might just look at you like, sound like you're you.
So I disagree with that, actually, because the problem is the people teaching that have no idea what they're doing. So that's how I teach. My stuff is very systematized. It's not lines, guys. It's how the human brains work, how male brain work and how female brain work. And it's a framework. It's how interactions work. And it can be a science. Now, I can't run the data because the studies are unethical to run psychological experiments on other people. So you can't actually test it. But I know from anecdotal experience, it works for every student I've had that has ever completed the program. It works. Most of the guys have trouble doing it. Have trouble completing the program. You're scared. You're fearful. That's why courses don't really work. I have a text course, but outside of that, I don't believe in courses because you need that push. All of my stuff works.
I believe in texting courses and learning texting game too as well, because I think that's something you can systematize it and it can actually work for a lot of people. But the physicality part, like teaching body language and teaching how to just have conversational skills, you actually have to go out and learn that.
So I can systematize all of it, but you have to go out in the field to practice it, because it's like, where do you practice texting? Not in person. Right? Okay. So the field of texting is your phone. That's why it works. If you couldn't practice texting on your phone, it wouldn't work, right? Yeah. So it's easy to practice texting. The reason why the body language, whatever, the in-person stuff doesn't work behind a computer is because that's not where you use it, right? So I can systematize your interactions in person, but then you got to go and practice it with the woman, and that's what you're scared of, and that's why you need a coach to push you.
Yeah, I actually want to get into that, like how you would, because there are a bunch of, here's the thing, there's gonna be a bunch of guys listening right now, and they want to know, okay, he's systemizing, like, what do you mean? Like, you can actually help me, like, in a way that can go out and actually talk to him and not be like look like a total fool or feel embarrassed and whatnot. Like, how can you actually do that? Yeah,
so this, I'll give the overview because it's really in depth how I actually run it. But there's two sides of game. I call positive game and negative game. So positive game is what you think of, like the techniques and the tactics and how, negs, I don't use them, but like those are the concepts of like how to get a woman more attracted to you, less attracted to you, right?
Yeah.
And then there's negative game, which is how to not present yourself as a loser, how to remove all those things that are killing your game and just get you back to like a normal level, right? Because there's things you don't realize that you're telegraphing to a woman that are killing your chances with her. And if you just remove those, you'll do a lot better. And so I always start with negative game, and that's the easiest to explain before I get into like all these higher level positive game tactics. So negative game is basically you go up to a woman and you say, hey, I'm a loser. Will you go out on a date with me? What's she going to say? What's she going to say? No, right?
No,
that, but they don't realize the words that they're saying, how their body language and stuff is conveying that to the woman. So these basic things like standing up straight, and it's like you hear them, like get a nice haircut, get your style right, lift a little bit of weights, right? Stand up straight and put your chest out. They're like, oh, this is no brainer, but nobody does it. And you don't look in the mirror. Nobody practices it. Nobody puts a book on their head to fix their posture. You just don't do it. The other thing is that like when you say like when a woman asks how many women have you been, when's your last date, or when your last woman you slept with, and you said I haven't had a date or a girlfriend in 2 years, 3 years, right? You think you're being genuine and honest, and you are, but it's bad. You're not in demand. You're saying I'm a loser. So it's like you don't want to lie. You don't say I slept with 100 women, but you kind of got to dodge that question, right? You got to dodge the question of, oh, or I just came off a divorce, right? Guys will say that stuff, and they will destroy all the attraction that they had, right? Dude, put a book on your head. Come on. See, a guy in the chat is like even hating on that because he won't do it. He won't do that because he won't get his posture right. Yes, it's Google advice. It's basic advice, but guys won't even do that. The point is that that's not my advice. That's just basic advice guys don't even follow.
So can I ask this follow up just to that real quick? Like,
sure.
So how would the white pill? Because you were talking about the ideologies before that. Because we're saying that guys won't even take that step. How would the white pill, if they decide, okay, fine, I want to pop this. I want to pop this white pill and see what the fuck's all about. How is it going to get them in a mental game to be able to say, all right, fuck, okay, I can do this shit?
So it's more so it's a conclusion that you come to by listening to Duke and Don, listening to Coach Whitepill, listening to Kevin Wilder. It's not observing in your life guys that are ugly, that are having success, women, because you put blinders on. You're only looking for the Chad, the good-looking guy, and you're seeing that. So it's like it's the concept of like confirmation bias, like poker. Like, do you remember the time that you got pocket aces? Or do you remember the time you got 3-4? Which do you remember?
Aces.
You remember, right? So if you got them in equal amounts, you'll forget the time that you got the shitty hand. So you're not looking for all the guys who are short with a woman. You're just not even going to see it. You'll walk right past you. You'll see the Chad because you want to see the thing that's keeping you down. And so when you open your eyes to it, you start realizing maybe I can do this. And when you get a coach, that's your first white pill step. Find a coach that knows what the hell they're talking about, because there's a lot of fakers. But if you're struggling, get a coach.
So
don't get me.
Come on, don't say that, because I was just gonna say but here's the thing.
I'm not in it for me. Like, I'm a great coach. I'm probably one of the best out there. Sign up with me, but it's not a grift, is what I'm saying. Sign up if Duke's coaching, if Mr. Lucario, Kevin Ray Wilder, he's my business partner. But sign up with whoever you identify with. Sign up with me if you like me. It's not to not sign up with me, but it's not about my brand. It's not about this. It's about everyone.
But it was I was gonna go kind of segue back, because we're like before that we're talking about how you would kind of walk these guys through, right? And right before that we're just talking about like the mentality of guys not being able to try. So now we're going back to like your Coach Whitepill, like if you were to walk the guys through it, right? So how we're going to solve the mentality problem. What else do these guys need to work on that are also killing their game that they don't even realize?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of fears involved. So we get through what the fears are, and every guy's a little bit different what they're afraid of. Some guys have no approach anxiety. Some guys have tons. Some guys have, they get on a date. They can make some moves with a girl. Some guys can get on tons of dates and can't touch her, can't make a move. Right. Yeah. So that's why coaching's customized. They come to me and we list all their problems. We list all their fears and we break them down one by one, because approach anxiety is a big one. And a lot of guys hide behind Tinder, which is harder. It's a lot easier to approach, right? But they're scared. So you got to break down approach anxiety, and it's not a fear of rejection alone. There's 5 fears in approach anxiety. That's why it's so hard. Guys only try and tackle 1. There's 5 fears involved. And actually, what guys don't understand, in my program, we break down approach anxiety a million ways. It's a very in-depth process, but it's very easy because we give you like baby steps. And that's what it is, a systematic step-by-step. It's baby steps, little by little, because if you just throw some guy out there, it's hard unless you're in person where you can physically push them. Online coaching, which is most of what I do, though we are doing a boot camp in Vegas in January, you need a step-by-step, baby step portion, and you need a little by little. And actually, the number one fear of approach anxiety is not rejection. Believe it or not.
Really? You would think.
It's not rejection. It's not
okay,
rejection.
What is it?
The number one fear of approach anxiety is other people watching you get rejected. Because if they do, you're ostracized from your tribe society. You're an outcast, which is biologically dangerous. You don't want to be left out. You're going to die. You're going to not be fed.
Yeah.
Another tribe's going to kill you. So our biological instinct is want to be part of the crowd. We don't want to be a loser. We don't want to stand out, right? So your number one fear, yes, you're afraid of rejection, sure. But your number one fear is actually other people seeing you get rejected, not the girl rejecting you by itself. That's secondary fears. And there's other ones involved as well. So you have to work on that fear. Because if you think about it, I mean, for me too, is like I can get to a point, I can warm up to get almost zero approach anxiety where I can just go walk up to a girl. But in a crowded bar, loud noise, whatever, no one's paying attention. Everyone's drinking. I can walk right up. Right?
Yeah.
That's why day game's harder because it's quiet. Everyone could hear you talk, right? Guys have much more approach anxiety in the day than night. And it's not just because they're drinking. It's because the bar is loud and no one's paying attention. In the daytime, you can hear a pin drop in the mall, or they used to,
true.
or in the street, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's looking around. Why is he walking up to that girl, right? Or even harder, in a cafe where she's sitting with her mom and friends. It's how do you go up to a table and talk to them because you're doing it in front of them? That's when I get it. Why do you get nervous in front of other guys? Because it's like, yes, if the guy's big and tough, you might get nervous in front of the girlfriend. But why do you get nervous if she's with her like gay guy friend or something? He's clearly wearing pink and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, stereotypes. But maybe he's a shrimpy guy or he's unattractive. You're like, why are you afraid of him? You're afraid because he's watching you talk to her. People watching you talk to someone. It's nerve-wracking, right? Why is that? Because that's our number one fear, is being an outcast of society, right? Then the secondary fear of, am I going to get rejected, right? Is she going to reject me? Am I not going to know what to say? Right. Do I look bad? Do I smell bad? Am I like not, is it going to hurt my self-esteem and things like that? Then there's the other fears, fear of success, right? It's self-sabotage comes from fear of success. So there's a fear of success that you're actually, a lot of guys are afraid it goes well. Why is that? They're afraid to get her number, right? They're afraid it goes perfect and get her number. Why? Because when they text that number, they're used to girls not texting back. And then they feel even more rejected. They got their hopes up, right? Or even worse, she texts back and then they flake on him or ghost. Or even worse, he gets the date and can't pull the trigger and doesn't get laid and gets made fun of by his friends. The hot girl went on a date. What's worse? What's worse? Telling your friends you got rejected on approach to a girl, or you got rejected when you're on a date with the hottest girl they ever seen? What's more embarrassing? Right?
It's definitely going on the date part, man. Yeah.
Right? And that's
you made
the
it
fear.
all that way. You ran almost to the end zone and you bombed.
Exactly.
You fumbled.
Exactly. You'd rather tell your guys you got rejected on approach, much rather than screwed up when the ball was in when the wide open goal. It's the same thing in sports. Go ahead.
I got a question. What I was going to ask is, so now when you were talking about the day game, it brought up an interesting point, right? Because would you say, okay, so guys would rather approach night, right? Because it's a little easier, a lot more distractions and whatnot. But what yields the more success, right? Is it guys approaching during the day, whether if they see a girl at the grocery store, no alcohol, anything involved, anything like that, or is it more easier for guys in terms of like actually not only just approaching women, but also like with the follow through and follow up and actually fostering some form of either a date or a relationship later on, however it is? Which one's easier? I don't think either is easier. I think it depends on the guy, and I think you can get good at both. I teach both. And also some guys tell you not to do night game. That means they're bad at it. That means they teach day game.
If they teach you night game and don't do day game, that means they're bad at day game, honestly, because they both have power to them. So there's benefits and drawbacks, right? At night, girls are out drinking, so they're in more fun mood than during the day. During the day, they're in their heads just like guys are. They're shopping for groceries or whatever. They're not paying attention.
Yeah.
They're more open to meeting guys at night, right? They're more likely to be single if they're out at a club or bar. Not necessarily, but more likely than in the daytime in the store. So you run into more boyfriends during the day, right?
Yeah.
There's but at night there's more competition. There's no competition at the grocery store when she's shopping for fruit, and vegetables, right? There's more competition at night. It's louder. The clubs are too loud, so you can't talk as well, right? But you can have some drinks and be looser, right? You're in a more relaxed mood at night, right? Daytime, you have less targets, less women to talk to, right? But it's easier if you're doing it in the midst of your daily life or in a cafe. My favorite, I always go work at cafes because then I can just talk to a woman and then go back to work. Talk to a woman, go get a number, go back to work. I don't have to take a lot of time out of my day. How much time do you have? Do you hate clubs and drinking? If you genuinely hate clubs, don't force yourself to go to them. You're going to meet those types of women. Go during the day. And then also one of my favorites is happy hours because it's a nice hybrid. You get people who are loose, drinking a little bit, not drunk, not loud. Women are still there, like after work, just chilling. There's not a lot of competition because guys don't think about it. And you can, events are great, like not meetup.com, but like actually social events that are kind of like geared toward that women enjoy, anything like fashion related or something like, like Kevin Samuels, I'm sure can go to a fashion event. Why can't you? Like I've gone to fashion events. I know nothing about fashion. I just show up and I'm like, I don't know about fashion. I'm here to learn. And like, I'll hit on women there. Why not? It's fun. Like, who cares?
And why not just pick the brains of some of the girls that are there?
Yeah. Who cares?
It'd be easy. Like, hey, man, this is my first time here. Like, this is also wild. Like, what's going on over here? You seem like you know what's going on. Like, K has shout out for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Paper without practice is a lost cause. I agree. And I'm assuming that you mean paper in the terms of like money, because if you got, because that's the thing. That's the thing, Coach Whitepill. Like a lot of these guys there, and you notice, and I want to get your thoughts on this too, because you notice a lot of these guys in these coaching spaces right now. It seems like more and this is where I push back. More the ideologies is more of leading with your money. Here's what I mean, right? Because they tell all these guys, because when you say self-improvement, the self-improvement they're telling these guys is to just go out and do it, but like. Then once you have it, it's no like practicing with women alongside that. So a lot of these guys, they get to a point where they're even successful, because like I said, I know a lot of guys who are fucking filthy rich, and all they did was focus on the paper. Now when it comes to actually going out in bars and shit like that, they're fucking awkward, and it actually shocked me, because it's like, bro, do you see what you drive? Like, how are you this weird? Like, what's going on, dog? Like, I don't get it. The mismatch is insane. Like, how? Because it shows the confidence doesn't translate through. But go ahead.
Having a lot of money is dangerous. And I'm a doctor. That's a whole nother thing. But I went into a lot of debt. So I'm not a wealthy man. I have a lot of medical school debt. Yeah. And it's actually the most dangerous thing is to have money, because it's like bumpers in bowling. It's like training wheels. And then going up against someone who's not using any of that is like best test of game is having no money. Or having just enough for yourself and not money to like spend on the women, because then you're really testing your game and your fitness and whatever. Can you get laid without money? Because money is like what happens when you stop spending money on her? She leaves, or she might get another guy on the side. She's not attracted to you for money. There's no attraction there. It's more like a currency to get her. That's why it's like, what's an escort? It's you give her money to get laid. And so, yes, it's good to have someone to use it. And women like that, especially high class women, especially quality women, like to have money spent on them. Yeah. But if you don't have game before you start doing that, you're going to get lost in those like spending all that money. You need game without it beforehand. And so can you get laid without money? If you don't, you have no game. If you don't, you have no game. Right?
I tell people all the time, I drove a piece of shit Mazda 6 for a long time, and I still have broad riding in that girl. I had girls who like, bro, when I taste a piece of shit, I shit you not. Like the ceiling, the little thing that goes in the ceiling, little film thing there, it was off, and it was just the foam thing was falling off, and girls were still riding that motherfucker. That's why when I listen to guys who are these dating coaches, and I'm like, I don't, the reality you guys are painting that you got to have this, you got to have that, and the girl's going to fuck with you. And even you hear some of the girls say that nonsense too. I'm like, I don't okay, maybe that's not my lived reality, but I don't think that's all of life. You're teaching these guys to only focus on one thing, right? And part of the thing that made me even go harder at this, and I respect what you do with the white pill and things like that, is because there was this young man, he was like, yo, I'm young, I watched the show, and watching Fresh and Fit or watching all these other dating coaches, it makes me feel inadequate. Like I don't have all these things I need to put together in order to go talk to a woman. I feel like I need to have this stuff. And I'm like sitting there like, guy, no, no, get that shit out of your head immediately, or you're never going to be successful.
Well, it's the other thing too. It's not just female nature. We always talk about female nature. What about male nature, right? Look at the pro athletes that have money. Do they have real male friends? Men come for money too.
Oh shit!
If you can't trust,
tell them.
If you have money and you can't figure out who your real guy friends are, how are you going to tell if a woman's attracted to you and not for your money? The guys come from your money. If the guys do it, why wouldn't the woman? If you got money, you never know who your real friends are, and you never know which women really want you. And not just for the money.
Facts. And even some of these NBA players, it makes sense because it seems like they're almost like targets for some of these women now. And it's like these guys don't even know any better, and they're willingly falling into these traps over and over and over again. And I mean, even what's funny? Most of the guys that you see being taken and being raked over the coals are all celebrities. The same motherfuckers that these guys are telling you, oh, these are high value guys. And you got to look up to them. And I'm looking at these motherfuckers and I'm like, oh, you just got taken for $300K a month. This nigga got took for $200K a month. This nigga, oh shit, y'all niggas paying out the wahoo. I don't want to be y'all.
They always use celebrities. They always say, what would she do with Drake or whatever? Like Will Smith.
That nigga gonna pay child support.
Yeah, he's on child support. Guys, why are you using celebrities as examples? Will Smith was crying on national television about a woman.
And not only that, his wife continues to embarrass him till this very fucking moment. It's so fucking sad. And this guy doesn't even have the fucking balls to say, all right, bro, let's kind of unwind for this. Now, call me stupid, right? Because you can say, all right, yeah, you wanna stay in this, and you got the kids and whatnot, and I respect that. But if you got this level of, they're grown. They got their own shit. They got their own businesses, bro. Walk out.
No, once your kid turns 18, you need to walk. Once your kid turns 18.
Jada's done, bro.
Yeah,
it's over with. She's going through some shit right now. And you don't want to be around her. You go find some pretty young thing and do your thing, bro. But she's not.
Maybe he was doing some pretty young stuff on the side, but she was hitting him hard on the interview. If they were coming at me like that in the interview, I'd be like, well, I was having fun on the side too, so I can't really complain. Instead of crying on whatever, I would have said that. I would have been like, you know what? I'm having fun on the side too. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Right? And it'd be. Here's the thing. It would have been fine if they actually had that agreement, right? They had that. Okay, I'm gonna do, and they probably did. Let's just be real. But the problem is, it goes back to the because John and I were talking about cheating, and I think it's different for guys than it is for girls. But it goes back to the idea. It's like, yo, like now she did it in a way where it's public. I didn't hear anything about Will Smith having an affair and all this stuff. I heard Jada Pinkett with that Alfonso, whatever the fuck guy's name is, right? And that, not on top of that, it's the kid, it's her friend's son. Like, it doesn't get worse than that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just crazy because, they like these, who are the alpha males in this scenario? They're all like simping for these other celebrity women. Like, I just don't get that. And it's like, guys, you got to wake up and understand that like your idols are not who you think they are. They're not your idols in the red pill community. They're not all it's cracked up to be. I always hear this all the time. Oh, your sub count is so low. These guys' sub counts are so high. It's like, you do realize the biggest scammers in the world have the biggest sub counts. Do you realize Herbalife is $1 billion company and it's total scam? Do you understand why that's nonsense? Bernie Madoff walked off with 50 billion. Is he right about everything?
It's crazy.
He's a scam artist. This idea that clout means you're right is dangerous and scary.
I'm so glad you said it, because you know what? When you actually come out and criticize these ideas, guess what the fuck they call you? A clout chaser. And it's like,
grifter.
Like, you guys are fucking crazy. I don't understand this. You guys are saying, okay, so we point this out. Here we have channels where, okay, yeah, you're not as big. We have our shit. Yo, listen. People are bandwagoners, right? And we understood this when we got into the space. We're looking at us like, yo, people will just watch you just for the fact that you have numbers. Matter of fact, we had people who sent us messages who subbed to us just because of the way our setup looks. It's crazy. Like, oh, yo, you guys have a dope setup. I'm gonna sub. It's like, well, you didn't even sub for the content. I appreciate it. I appreciate the subscription, but I want. It looks good. You see what I'm saying? So it's one.
I tell Kevin he's got to upgrade his setup sometimes because he has such fire content.
You are missing out, Kevin. I'm telling you right now. Go ahead and get you some sound foams.
Don't hate too hard. Don't hate too hard. It's really my fault. We got to upgrade. When we get back to the U.S., we're going to upgrade a little bit.
That's what it is. It's all aesthetic. So that's what I realized, that when we were starting this stuff down there, we're like, yo, let's hide this shit, because we know that once we get to a certain point, people are just going to follow you just to fucking follow you. And that's it. It's like, no, do you get the fucking message?
And here's the thing. When they start calling you names, that means they're scared.
Yeah.
Okay. Rollo's scared of Kevin Ray Wilder. He won't even say his name. He's the Voldemort of the manosphere. We've decided, like, that's what I call Kevin, the Voldemort of the manosphere. They're scared of him. Otherwise, they would say his name. They say my name, and they call me a dipshit. It's because they're scared we're right.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? They wouldn't make streams about us if they weren't scared we're right. Okay. They're scared to debate us. They're scared that we're going to point out their flaws, right? They're scared they're going to lose clout and credibility because they don't live the lives that they claim to live. They're always demanding receipts from me, despite the fact I've said numerous times, I can't film here. I will film in the US, but I also don't do hidden camera footage because it's creepy. It's creepy. Even if you blur their faces,
cringe.
It's
cringe.
creepy to film women without their permission and put it online, even if you blur their faces. Okay. I had women in Vietnam that blocked my number after they found my website, offering a free guide on how to meet women on Facebook and hook up with them. It just said the word hook up. She's like, is this yours? She highlighted the word hook up and she blocked me. So guys, it affects my own dating life because women and higher quality women that don't sleep around, which is Vietnamese women that do not do that sleep around thing, do not put up with this stuff of like objectifying women or necessarily hookup culture here. They're in the West, they're more accepting of it, but women are not going to want to date me if they go to my YouTube channel and see that I'm filming women without their permission and showing guys how to pick up women through that. Maybe other coaches have figured out how to convince their girls to be okay with that. I don't want to go through that process. Okay, so stop asking me for infield footage. I'll show you. We're gonna do some footage,
but not even that. Where is their infield footage? Where is their? I haven't seen Rollo Tomassi out in the field.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him talking to girls. I don't see him doing any of this stuff.
Exactly. But even dating coaches that have infield, right? We're gonna do party footage. We're gonna do it with the woman's permission. They're gonna know they're on camera. They're gonna know it's going on YouTube, right? We're gonna do some of that. But when you ask for that kind of stuff, and it's legitimate to ask for that, but they don't ask for that from the Red Pill guys. They say their wives or their girlfriends, and I don't like to go after their wives or their girlfriends. I don't like that. We stay away from, we do our own thing as creators. We don't try and promote that behavior because it's ad hominem attacks. It's not good.
I respect that. Yeah.
I'm not coming after Rollo personally. Right? If I want to attack his credibility, I'm going to attack the fact that he only has an undergraduate degree and tries to claim to be an arbiter. He calls himself the Research and Development Project. Well, he should probably go get a PhD if he's going to do that. Because he has an undergrad in evolutionary biology. I don't know if he studied statistics or not, but that's the credibility I want to go after. I don't want to go after his family. I want to go after the fact that he doesn't have a PhD in any of this stuff. He went after Jordan Peterson.
Keep it to the ideas, not the ad hominems, guys.
No, but even the ideas, you better do your research and understand fundamental statistics, causation over correlation if you're going to use this stuff. Now, he started citing his studies after I asked him to. He put it in the description, but he won't debate the ideas. Debate Kevin Wilder.
Let's use this. Let's use this opportunity to actually like transition into the whole Rollo Tomassi thing. And while we're doing that, I didn't ask this while we're privately conversing, but do you mind taking calls?
Sure, I'll talk to anyone.
All right, yeah. Let's go ahead and post a link. We'll do about 20 minutes worth of it, and then we'll see if you guys have guys. All right, do you call yourself the Godfather? I know I asked you this, but I want you guys to know it for themselves. All right.
No, don't call me the Godfather. Call me. Well, it's not just me. It's Kevin. Me and Kevin Wilder call us the Pioneers.
The Pioneers. You guys, you're listening to one of the pioneers of the White Pill.
I'm the Magellan The white pill.
Magellan of the Magellan of the white pill, guys. Okay, so we're gonna post the link in the chat right now. So those of you guys who've always had questions, you want to come on here, you want to ask some questions, you want to understand about the white pill or something in general. We're gonna leave this up so you guys we can have that conversation. KS, thanks again with the $5 super chat. I never want to call myself a high value, as the phrase goes empty vessels makes the most sound. That's true. As the phrase goes, empty vessels makes the most sounds. I agree with that. And you notice what I noticed, Coach Whitepill, right? A lot of these guys who preach about high value and alpha males, you got to get the dog in, right? They never refer to themselves as that. Is it because they realize that shit's cringe? And if so, why do they keep talking about alpha males and beta males and use those reference and they don't refer to themselves as that? I always question that.
Yeah. So don't refer to yourself as that. Is like, again, like rich people don't go around bragging people are rich. It looks trying too hard. Now, they've kind of realized that the fake alphas, what I call them on YouTube, have realized they're not supposed to do that, even though they want to. But what happens is, and you have a filtering effect on YouTube, is fake alphas rise to the top. Why is that? Why do you not get real alphas in this space? Is because, or at least with the most viewership, one, they're not angry, they're not emotional. Drama gets viewership, drama gets sub counts. So alpha males are not emotional. You know, Rollo they called it his best stream. I don't even want to talk about him today, but he called me a dipshit.
Let's get into it right now.
They called it his best stream, and he was very emotional. They like the emotion, they like the drama. Alphas are not emotional. And here's the real thing. Alphas do not seek out attention. They don't need it. So alphas do not need YouTube channels to be successful in life. They don't give a shit. They're out there getting paper. They're out there getting laid. They're not talking about it. I'd say, I don't know, I'm making up numbers, but I'd say if I have my own opinion, 90% of alpha males, no one will ever hear of. They don't care.
Yeah.
If you do hear of them, it's because they own a company, like a real business to business type deal, right? You hear like, you know, I don't know if Elon Musk or whatever, those are the ones that are billionaires. But most alpha males, they're not even necessarily make money. They don't have to make any money. They don't need to make money.
I was going to say, it's not the monetary thing. Yeah.
They have power without money. But if they have made money, they're usually a CEO of a company you never heard of, and they're making 10 mil a year, right? Alpha males just do their own thing. They don't care. They don't have to impress anyone. So fake alphas rise to the top, and that's who you're listening to. That's the problem, who you're learning from.
Yeah.
Right. And the only alpha, males that you can follow are the ones who are kind of the preachers or the priests that like to spread a message, right? In religion, the alpha males would be the preachers, the ones who live lives of sacrifice and are there for the message. The message matters to them more than anything, the Bible or whatever, and helping the person. Those are the alpha males that you see. Everybody, all the other alpha males do their own thing. They don't want to talk. They want to hang out with their friends and have beers and smoke cigars and go on their yachts and do their things. They don't want to do this stuff. They don't care. It's not, they don't like drama.
So why is it these guys don't like that? They talk about this alpha male, beta male, simp concept, and yet they don't like to refer. Listen, if I'm gonna sit, I don't preach alpha male, beta male, whatever the fuck. But if I'm sitting there telling you guys got to be alpha, then I'm gonna say, okay, I'm an alpha guy, and I want to have no qualms of saying I'm an alpha guy, right? But that's if I was pushing those ideologies. But what you see is these guys, they say alpha and beta male, and then you see and they'll ask them, "Oh, are you alpha male?" I never assumed myself to be an alpha male. I never said I'm an alpha male. But why are you teaching these ideas then?
Yeah, so they do this. Like I'm not saying I'm one because they know they're not supposed to. They want to say it. They want to.
What's the harm in saying it though?
Well, they know because it looks bad. It looks like try hard. It looks egotistical. Now, also, here's the other thing. Alpha male is not a person. Beta male is not a person. It's a state of mind and a state of being. So in every situation, it's a power dynamic, alpha, beta. By the way, beta is actually the first officer. It's not actually the loser. The loser is actually omega based on the animal studies. They call it omega. The beta is supposed to be like Spock to Kirk. It's supposed to be the first officer. But regardless, let's say it's the dominant, the loser. You can be an alpha male with your wife, right? But then you go to work and guess what? You're the beta male to your boss, right? So it's a transitory state. It's a state of mind and state of being. Who has the power in those dynamics? That's the alpha male, right? So there's nothing, but that's the other thing. It's like you have a boss. Is there something wrong with that? Are you this loser beta male? No, that doesn't make you that. You're in a lower position. but technically he's the alpha at the office, the boss. He's the alpha dog.
Yeah.
So does that make you lesser, lower? Technically in the hierarchy, but should you feel bad about that? No, that's just how the world works until you're the boss, right? And so this alpha, beta thing, and like when someone asks me an alpha male, I'll be like, when? What scenario, right? If you're asking me if I'm an alpha male in my job, I am, because I own the company. It's my company. So yes, technically I am. But if you're asking me, am I an alpha male? No, because I'm not always one. Sometimes I'm in the beta position, right? Sometimes we have our weak moments. Sometimes we simp. I wouldn't say I've never simped. That's a lie, right?
Yo,
Do I
if she,
simp,
hey, if she's bad enough, I might just buy her out.
And it's like you have weak moments, you have bad days, you have bad weeks. Do I simp less than most men? Yes, almost never. But does it happen? Sure. Like, it's not bad. I know how to cut it off. I know how to stop it. But you get in weak moments, and this idea that we're perfect is wrong. This idea that we're alpha all the time is wrong. This idea that we're perfect. The reason why they're playing this game is that they want to push this idea that they're alpha, but they know they can't say it. They fundamentally know if they call themselves that, it looks bad. They're all about optics. They're all about view counts and sub counts. Why does Myron care about sub counts and view counts? Why? Because it's optics. You want to look, it's validation, right? It's validation. It's like females wanting attention and wanting likes and wanting clicks. You're not secure in yourself if you're always concerned with likes and view counts and sub counts. And do you really care about the guys who are watching you?
Or the content itself? And that's my problem with it, man. That's my big problem with it.
He's always talking about
this giveaway shit. You give away shit for subscribers and crap. Like, it's like, yo, okay, if you're doing a super giveaway for subscribers, is it really about the fucking message then? Like, because then if you don't care, you guys gotta understand, you guys have influence. And there are young men who are listening to you, so they can take these ideas and they will run with it. And when we were talking about Kevin Wilder, right, and he had that debate with Donovan Sharpe, and he was talking about, and Donovan Sharpe, he was like, well, my guys, the people who are listening, I'm just joking, I'm not a misogynist. I can say I'm a this and that on my show, but I'm just Josh. And it's like, no, there's some real stupid ass people out here, man, and some of them will probably most likely follow you. They will take your words as literal. So if you're saying all women are this or they're fat lesbos or however you want to classify them, you got to understand that, like, there are guys who will take that shit seriously, like, to heart, because they follow you.
But Donovan's a little bit different because a lot of these guys are grifting. A lot of these guys are in it for the money. They're coping. They're coping with their pain of getting rejected. They're grifting. They don't mean what they say. So it's a little bit different. Donovan actually, in my opinion, he believes everything he says. He just knows he can't talk about objectifying women without, like, covering it a little bit, because I think he does objectify women, and he actually believes in it. That training a woman thing is like taking away their autonomy. And that's what he revealed.
But that's even more dangerous, though, wouldn't you say? Because then other people who follow him would be able to believe in that shit. That's crazy. It is dangerous.
It is dangerous, but I have to give him credit. He's bringing on people that combat that. He's talking to people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People. He's not afraid. He's actually really respectful in the debates. He always says, "Don't go attack the person." He had me on. He invited me on. Like, he asked me to be on, and I'm a nobody. Like, people know who I am, but in my channel is like a nobody. And he invited me on. He had Kevin on. He had Goosey on. He's not afraid to talk to anyone. I don't know. I can't hear you. I don't know if I lost.
No. I was sending a message. I was talking to Don backstage.
But I got to give Donovan credit, because I don't care what he's pushing as long as he's bringing on opposing ideas and letting people decide for themselves. And by doing that, he's letting the audience decide for themselves. He also. He gives a crap about the guys. Now, maybe it's a poison pill where he's talking about removing women's autonomy and training them, but he does talk about the red pill. He does give some good hard truths, and I think he really cares about the guys, and that's so rare in this environment. So, as much as I don't like how he objectifies women, I disagree with the training a woman thing. I think there's good things to do in terms of boundary setting. Training everyone to respect you in a certain way is good. But I don't like the whole removing their autonomy thing. They can't think for themselves kind of crap. So there are fine lines there, but we want to promote the debates. We want to promote guys like Donovan debating the good. I'm not going to talk about his content when I can talk about, I think he cares about helping guys. Yeah. So let's get out the grifters. Let's remove these grifters that are in it for the money, Myron. in it for the money, in it for the clout. And
I think Rollo's a grifter.
Discuss.
I would say Rollo's
He's a different kind of grifter. Yes, I will get to that.
So let's actually do it, guys. Guys, we got about 10 minutes here. You should call in. Let's do it. You got you got one of the pioneers of the white pill sitting in front of you talking over here. You guys don't want to even ask him a question. Come on, SO to Coach Whitepill. What do you say about the guys who debunk or is cringing about geek numbers placeholders because Greek number placeholders because it's debunked by scientists? So
I'm not familiar with this. Black Silver is actually on our streams a lot.
I see him a lot. Shout out to Black Silver.
Silver. Let's talk on the next stream that we have. I'll answer that because I gotta look into that. That's a separate thing that I'm not too familiar with at the moment. But yeah, so I'll get to that. He comes on our streams a lot. I'll talk to him about that. But back to what I was saying. Okay, so first I want to couch this in the fact that I don't like to talk shit, but Rollo called me a dipshit, so I'm gonna come hard.
You gotta say something about that now.
Right now. I'm gonna come with a heater, guys. Okay, so here's the thing about grifting. Most grifting is about money and status, right? Most grifting is about they want to get the money, they want to grab the bag, and they want to get the status. It's hard to get the bag on YouTube nowadays. So that's what grifting is. They don't give a shit about the audience. They don't care about you. They don't care about, they just want you to click that like button, click that sub button, give that super chat, subscribe to their Patreon, buy their course or whatever. Yeah. They want to do that. And, you know, it's a marketing channel, so it's hard to tell the difference between the real and the fake. That's why you got to just learn who knows game and figure out who actually knows it. Like Alex from Playing with Fire actually knows game.
Yeah.
And you can tell that. So listen to those guys, test their knowledge out, see if they know what they're talking about. But the grift game is about money and it's about status, or it's about ego. And with Rollo, some people will say he's in it for the money. I don't really know how much money does a book really make. Like, honestly, I call him an ego grifter. He's in it to boost his ego. He wants to be known as the godfather of the red pill, despite the fact he says don't call him that. And he wants to be known as the intellectual of the manosphere. So it's an ego grift. He wants to be known as the wisdom of the manosphere. He wants to be known as a Jordan Peterson. He might be in it for the money. I don't really think that. I think he wants to be the Jordan Peterson of the manosphere, recognized as such. And why is he so afraid? Why do you call me a dipshit? Why is he so scared of us? Because we're a challenge to that ego. We're not taking away the money. We tell guys to buy his book. So it's not about the money, right? If I tell guys to buy your book, how can it be about the money? No, it's about challenge to your status as the intellectual. And I got to be honest, if you're the intellectual and you only have an undergraduate degree, now it could be fine if you actually studied statistics and understand what you're talking about, but you misrepresent a lot of studies, which I will get into if we ever debate, or if you debate Kevin Ray Wilder, I'm sure he'll get into it because he's well-versed in this stuff too, in the statistics, in the studies. But if you want to be known as the intellectual, at least get your stuff right. And at least admit that dating studies are flawed. And actually, I want to address that because, you know, I haven't really got, excuse me, I get some water. Jesus. So I haven't gotten into why the dating studies are so flawed. This is another discussion. I'm going to do it on another stream. But really fundamentally, why dating studies are so flawed. People say one thing and do another. Women say one thing and do another all the time. You can't rely on guys to say their lay count or women to say their lay count, right? So in order to do proper dating studies, mating studies, you have two isolated options. That's all you got. You have to see a penis going into a vagina to know if that actual intercourse happened. Yep. You otherwise don't know. You can fake with camera tricks. You know, you can pay. Even then, the girl could be paid as an escort. So you don't know. But if you ran a study with scientists and you knew that the women weren't paid, you have to watch intercourse to see if she actually went through with it. Date's not enough. Date's a leading indicator if she goes on a real date with them out of choice, but you don't know till they have sex, okay? The only other option to get real statistical data is to run DNA tests on children. Now, they've done some studies like this, but you need to do it on large sample sizes. And how many women that have slept with another man that's not their husband is going to agree to test their children for you?
No. Yeah.
And then it also leaves out all the sex that's happening under birth control, which is majority of the sex is not leading to birth. So you don't know who's sleeping with who under birth control. you only know who's sleeping with her that results in a baby. And then the only way to do a real study is to watch people have sex.
Yeah.
Right? Now you get some data if you set up studies where they actually have to, like matchmaking, and they have to go on a real date with them. Yeah. So you know who actually suffered through 3 hours with the other person. Yeah. So they probably were more attracted than the other person. But then you don't know if he's good at escalating. You don't know if she's actually going to sleep with the guy after the date, right? So the data is very limited, right? All this other study crap is useful, but you talk about it like it's immutable fact of nature. Yeah. There's a reason why academics go into chemistry, physics, electric cars, engineering. They don't go into this. They call them the soft sciences for the reason. There's not a lot of empirical hard data. I'm writing a book that's probably going to come out at the end of next year or even beyond that. I haven't decided. I have a lot on my plate. But I'm a man of science, and my book will contain no science. It will contain no data, no studies, because it's a philosophy that you take it or leave it. You try it or not. You put it on for size. You give it a shot. Does it work for you or not? Because I'm not going to promise you it's scientific, because there is very little science in this area. We're going off evolutionary biology, and we're guessing, guys. I have tons and tons of anecdotal data, but I'm never going to say what I say. I don't, on our streams, we don't do facts. I know it's fun. You do it. I don't want to call you out for that, but we say opinions, because all this shit is opinions. It's my opinion that females are operating off evolutionary biology from thousands of years ago, tribalism, all this stuff. It's my opinion. I believe it to my core because of what I see, but I can't prove any of it. So I'm not going to use it in that way. Right. Well,
see, I think opinions are fine as long as you're not saying you're not pitching it as, oh, my opinion is law. You know, that's the problem.
But that's how they do it. Facts. Yeah. Facts means it's immutable fact. That's how they describe it. They say women operate on emotion, men on logic. That's a total lie. Men get emotional all the time. What do you think a fight is? Why do men punch each other? You think that's rational logic?
Yeah.
Men are just as emotional as women sometimes, not all the time, because women have hormonal cycles that are different. Women are more emotional. But this idea that men are rational is delusion.
It's crazy.
Men are rarely rational.
And talk about the rational male. A lot of the guys that follow you are very irrational. That's like irrational females.
I call it the irrational male. Not. I was really nice. I recommended the book, and you're gonna come at me like that? No.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how weird this guy is. And personally, I don't think he's that smart. As smart as he thinks he is. Real talk. I just think, look, if you're gonna explain your fucking dating ideas to a fucking 5-year-old, you're not smart than me. You just use big words to mask some fucking weird nonsense that people probably shouldn't be paying attention to. And that's the thing. But it goes to the point where you were talking about how he wants to see himself as a smart person, where he's not actually smart. I've come across guys like him all the time, man, where they try to act like something they're not. And it's like, you think you're better than somebody? Like, what's wrong with you, man? Just chill, relax, and talk.
Well, he says he's not a cult leader. He says it's not a religion. Okay, he wrote a book about the religion side of it. But in the chat, I watched the stream on us. In the chat, someone said, forget rational male. You should call it the rational God. And it's like, these guys worship him, and he's like, I'm not a cult leader. Oh, hands off. I'm not a guru. It's like Tony Robbins. I'm not a guru. No, you are. You're just pretending like you're not. He said, I don't have beliefs. Man. He literally said, I don't have beliefs. It's a praxeology. I'm just spitting the facts. I don't have beliefs. How much nonsense is that? I don't have beliefs. He said that. He said, I don't have beliefs. It's a praxeology. It's the truth. I'm only coming with the truth. That's nonsense. Run if you ever hear someone say that they only have the truth and don't have a bias lens. Everyone has a bias. Even how you interpret data is a bias. Scientists do double-blind studies. Why do they do it blind? If it's just data, why not? Why do you blind it? Why do you do blind studies? It's just data. It's empirical evidence. You blind it because the observer bias. The observer has their own bias. So you have to blind it, and you have to get data that no one has seen. And even then they can skew the data. You can make data say anything that you want. Right? Yeah. You have glass half full, glass half empty. If you say that, 75% of women rejects short guys, that means 1 out of 4 like short guys. 25% like short guys, right?
Yeah. You just gotta go find it.
You can make data say whatever you want it to say. You really can. You can leave stuff out. So has Rollo ever said he's better than anyone? No. Does he need to say that? He says he's the research and development department in the manosphere, assuming that he has all the cards of facts. So yeah, that's implying you're better. Have I said I'm better? Does a racist ever say they're a racist, right? Hey, I'm a racist. Nobody says that.
Just like I said, you can say things without really saying things. That's the problem. When there are guys who come up and they talk condescending to certain ideas, just because they have their own, they think it's all fucking, law and gospel, and they talk down to certain viewpoints and things like that. It's condescending. That's the attitude that I get from him when he talks. That's why, when I watch his videos, bro, he's so fucking dry because he sounds like he's trying to be someone he's not, and you can sense that shit like easy, bro. It's like, yo, just be real. Because you're using all this fucking words and mumble, like, just tell me, give me the straight facts. Because right now I don't know what it is you're saying. You're saying, okay, 1 minute, guys go out here and girls they practice this hypergamy and things like that. On the other hand, you're teaching tactics that basically like make guys act a certain way that it's like a self-fulfilling cycle in a way. It's like, yo, you guys you're being hypocritical in your own words, and you can't see. And Lauren Southern point that out and backed into a corner, and you couldn't do shit about it, which was crazy because one of the most simplest thing you can actually point out and say, hey, okay, explain this shit, guy. Like, what is this?
In the last stream, he even posted the intro was the Lauren Southern clip where she owned him the most, and it's like, but here's the thing, okay. I'm not here to hate, okay? If two things that he needed to do, and I wouldn't have come at it. One is understand that it's okay to have new philosophies that come up, like the white pill. It's not even new. Like I said, we discovered it. It's been in this ether. But to shit on anything new because it's new, once upon a time, the red pill was new. If he hadn't called it the purple pill, which was totally misleading and false, if he didn't call me Coach Whitepill's a dipshit, right? I wouldn't be here hating on him. All he had to do was two things. One, let the white pill be as a new concept that is integrated. It doesn't replace the red pill. It's in addition, it's a just prescription, which he doesn't give. The red pill describes the world. He says this himself. The red pill is a praxeology. It's a description of the world. It's not telling you what to do. So you need something to tell you what to do. That's a white pill. Okay? They can both coexist. Let it coexist. And then have discussions with Kevin Wilder about what the red pill is. Two things you need to do, and never would have come after you. Never would have complained about you. Never would have made streams about you. Never would have done any of this stuff. You brought this upon yourself by trying to silence us. We never tried to silence you. See, it's all projection. He said in the stream, we're trying to silence his book. He said the guys are on about to hurt themselves, and these guys are trying to silence me. Lie. Very disgusting accusation, by the way, because I helped a lot of those guys that are trying to hurt themselves. A lot of them I help. Okay, so disgusting lie. But he's trying to silence us. I've never once tried to silence him. Again, buy his book and then come to me. Read The Rational Male. I've told guys that. I only take issue with the 9 iron rules. That's it. The rest of the book I'm fine with, but not by itself anymore. By itself is very dangerous because this is what happens. Come to me, come to Kevin Wilder, come to Duke after you've read The Rational Male. But this idea that he's trying to silence us is projection. He wants to silence us. He doesn't like us talking because we're too smart and we bring good ideas to the table. He wants to be the Jordan Peterson, the only one at the table. He's scared that I'm someone with a medical degree. I have a freaking medical degree and a background in evolutionary psychology and evolutionary biology. That scares him. Yeah. Kevin Wilder has a background in this stuff too, in philosophy, in fitness, in a lot of this stuff that we've talked about on end. Kevin knows his shit. And that's what's scary, is that we're high IQ guys that are also going to be the intellectuals of the manosphere. And he doesn't want to share the table. We're not coming at you, bro. We're coming at you because you don't want to share the table.
I think the era of guys like him, guys like that is slowly widening down too as well, especially as more ideas like the ones you possess, right? And the ones like with Kevin Ravallo and some of these other guys too that are coming out who are criticizing this stuff. As we begin to progress, it's going to, it's like holding up a mirror, right? It's like, okay, look, guys, you can clearly see what ideas are what. It's up to you to pop whatever pill that makes you sleep at night, because real talk, you can see which one's going to be damaging for your health and which ones are actually out there to fucking help you out. All you have to fucking do is listen, without the fucking flash, without all the promises and the fake nonsense. Just listen to the fucking ideas. Do you get the fucking message? Shout out to the Danger Russ for the $5 super chat. Shout out to D&D for that work. Hey man, we put that work in. We out here putting streams out here for you, man. Like real talk. Like that's what we're here to do, man. That's what we here. Like we literally want to provide this alternative viewpoint so you guys can see clearly side by side to what's really going on. Real talk, like listen, this channel originally we were just doing reaction videos, and we still do reaction videos, right? But now we focus more on the dating content, is because when you start to see this nonsense come out, you're like, wait a minute, I don't have that lived experience. And hey, I have a daughter, bro. I don't want none of you fuck boys out here, because when you become a parent, man, you start thinking differently, man. You start thinking about all the other shit that you've done in the past, and it's like, oh God, and the other shit that some of these young kids are doing. You're like, yo, that could be the males interacting with my daughters, but not just my daughter, but like other people's kids. So this is why it's important. If you have a group of men who are growing up with these kind of ideologies, you have to offer an alternative perspective. And speaking of putting in that work, we're gonna start transitioning into our next live stream that's gonna be up. So guys, the link's gonna be up. Go ahead and click onto it. We're gonna be talking about interracial dating. But before we go ahead and head out, what else you have going on? You mentioned a live stream that you have coming up, and what topics should the guys expect when they go over there?
So I do most right now, because my channel is really small. We're on Kevin Ray Wilder's channel. So we do a lot of streams over there. It's going to be we actually tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, because it'll be our night, we're doing Rollo bingo. So we're doing a drinking game because he's so repetitive. We'll have more constructive teaching streams later down the road.
We got to do that. We got to do that. We got to. Shit,
it's gonna be fun. We're doing a drinking game because he repeats himself all the time. So we're gonna do that. But we'll be doing streams on game and stuff. I'm Coach Whitepill, so my main thing is coaching. I'll just be doing some streams and interviews on YouTube. Kevin Ray Wilder is doing most of our kind of intellectual, discussions and debates, and our manosphere content. He's my business partner. But yeah, you can go to for coaching help and for a free guide on how to meet women on social media. We have a podcast. Just go to whitepillman.com. It's real simple. We have a boot camp coming up in Las Vegas if you're in the States in January. So just hit me up for that. I'm on Facebook as well. And just all the links are on whitepillman.com, and then subscribe to my channel. Still trying to grow it so I can
head on over there, man, and subscribe.
But yeah, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button over here. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, you don't need a million pills. We didn't come up with these tons of pills. They literally already existed. They already existed. We just named them. We just gave a name to them. There's only 4, and you only need to take 2 of them. The blue pill and the red pill. Only take the red pill. Okay. Don't swallow the whole thing and get all bitter and stuff. Take most of it, right?
Because that pill gonna turn black.
Yeah. And then you got the black pill and the white pill. And you only need to take the white pill. You don't need to take the black pill. So let's stop this argument with, oh my God, there's so many pills nowadays. No, there's 2. You need to take the red pill, and then you take the white pill. And that's it. You're done. Okay, guys? Any more pills don't exist because we didn't come up with them. We discovered it. We're the pioneers of it. We brought it to the consciousness. It already existed. There was the black pill. What's the opposite of black, guys? Say it with me. White. Okay? We didn't make up something new. It already existed. Okay? So you need 2 things. The red pill, take the red pill, then take the white pill, and then watch Duke and Don, watch Coach Whitepill, watch Kevin Wilder, learn game from Alex from Playing with Fire. And yeah, learn game, learn gym maxing. Get out there and do the work, guys. Don't just watch us on YouTube, please.
Yeah.
Get coaching help. Take a course if it's on texting, something simple you want to learn. If you really need help, you need a coach. Course is not going to enough. If you're doing fine on your own, watch some stuff. Take some mini courses like texting and learn this stuff. Get out there and approach women now that pandemic's winding down. Get out there and meet women and just log off sometimes. Guys, you got to log off and do the work. That's why we're never going to be the, biggest in the whole YouTube, because YouTube loves drama. We're going to be big channels, Duke and growing. But, I don't want to say this, but maybe you never have 10 million subs because you're not speaking to the rage.
Right.
You might not 10 million, but you're going to have a nice channel with a real audience. And I think
and that's a crazy thing. The community that's already been spawned out of this whole nonsense. It's crazy, and how together is, and real talk, and how most channels, I'm looking at the analytics, we share a lot of the same subs too as well. Yeah. So it's a nice little community with all these different spaces that we can only keep going up and up with the nice positive ideas. So maybe we don't hit 10 million subs or whatever it is, right? But it's gonna be a nice sizable chunk, and these are the guys are showing that's going to be like actually getting actual
better.
advice that's going to benefit
It's the one people you want. It's like a tribe, guys. Stop following channels that are like 500,000 trying to hit the 1 million mark.
It's crazy.
Because you want to find a tribe that's actually doing shit, and I guarantee you those audience ain't doing shit. Right?
So
you want to get good with women? Yeah, go ahead.
No, because we're gonna start heading out to the lunch and start like 9 minutes. But I want to say one more thing. No, like not only that, I want to have you on again, like because we want to get into the whole game stuff too as well. Because one thing is, it's not just always just talking about it, but I want to have some. I don't say implementations, but some more into the weeds teaching. Because that's what I want. I want to present a opposing ideology that's actually based on something that people can take and digest and actually go out and motivate them to try. And that's what this channel is all about. It's like, hey, here's some opposing ideas here based on what you guys are already seeing. And we want you guys to just fucking go out there and try. Like the white pill mentality he was talking about. Go fucking try. So we'd love to have you on again, either maybe next week or the week after, whatever it is. But I want this to be an ongoing thing with some of the guys that we're even building with this group too as well. With Kevin Ray Wilder, I want to have him on with Game. Matter of fact, probably do a panel type thing going on too, where we could just have these conversations, because I think it's going to be beneficial. The more people can learn and suss out these ideas for themselves, the better, and the more successful they're going to be in their daily life too. Yo, any last thing you want to add before we go?
Yeah, just to give them a little hype. We talked about this, but a lot of guys don't know how to physically escalate and sexually escalate. And so it's a little teaser. If you guys are down for that, let Duke know, because that I can teach. And a lot of approach stuff has been out there. I noticed there's some good approach content, but there's very little on that. So I'd love to get into helping you guys from the moment you meet a woman, physical escalation, back to your place, getting to sexual escalation, that progression, because a lot of guys don't know how to initiate when they first walk up to a woman. When can you touch her, especially in the Me Too era? When are you allowed to touch her? How do you start the process, and then how do you develop it? So if you guys are interested, let Duke and Don know. Because,
I'm sure they'll let us know on Instagram. All right. With that being said, guys,
thanks for having
catch us on our next stream. Coach Whitepill, thank you so much for being here, man. Thanks for joining us. Hope we see you next week or the week after, whenever you have some time. I know you're a busy guy, so we'll make that happen. But we teach some of you guys some freaking game out here, man. So, guys, go ahead. The link is in the chat right now. Go ahead and head on over to the next live stream. I'm going to see you guys over there. We're going to be talking about interracial dating and let's just say something you don't want to miss. All right? Take it easy, y'all. Peace.